What is up, my Gaggle of Geeks, and welcome to tonight's episode. We're going to be talking about a bevy of things. We're going to be talking about the news that came out today about LGBT rights and just so many other things. We've got a game show coming out with The Cost is Boss. I know you guys liked that game show that we were trying out. We've got a new one today, and of course, I am here as always with our co-host Chaz. How's it going, my man?
I got my computer fixed, so it's good.
Woo! What was wrong with your computer?
I think it was something to do with my graphics card. I had to update my graphics card essentially because it kept glitching out and the screens would restart. It was weird, but I haven't had any issues yet, so I think I fixed it.
Very good. Very, very good. And also with us, we have two very special guests that both have worked together on the Cinema Queens podcast. But now you can check them out on new work that they're working on now. First, please welcome Adam McDonald from the Tough Film Critics Association. How's it going, man?
Doing pretty good. How's everything going with you? It's been, we interact online, but we haven't really met up for stuff or anything for a while. So
I know, right? The last thing we did, if people remember from the YouTube channel, is our Critics on Critics episode, and I believe we did an Avengers Infinity War spoiler thing.
Yeah, and then we did a podcast together. We were trying to work that out, and then our scheduling issues didn't work out. But I know we got a couple episodes. I think we got 2 episodes in before my life went to shit with work. So,
but here's the thing that you do for work is essential working, and yeah. But we're not going to get into details, but commend them for that. Too many sound effects. Oh shit. And next.
Also, we're gonna have a running gag of my vaping the entire time. So get used to it.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle style, pretty much. Through all of his comedy bits, he's gonna be like, and then getting into
there you go.
Also, I want to welcome Chris Stout. He's the co-host to the Cinema Queens podcast, and I'm not sure what you're working on, but tell us what's going on, man.
I'm just trying to fucking make it to the next day, man. That's what I'm doing. Hey, I worked with Adam on Cinema Queens. We had a great time doing that. If you want to find me, you can find me at Twitter at master24747. But yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out for now. Nothing special.
Nice. We were just talking before that you've been doing a lot of exercising or like you've been losing weight, and that's awesome as well. So I wanted to congratulate you. I just love using the sound effects. Maybe that's all this is. Seriously, this is such a cool group to be here today to talk about all the shit that's going on. So first, let's jump into the big thing. The Supreme Court rules that workers can't be fired for being gay or transgender, which is fucking incredible. Like, that deserves it too. Everything. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, the most interesting part of this was the fact that Neil Gorsuch, who was a Trump appointee, who's known for being very conservative, he not only sided with the majority, which was a 6-3 majority, with Roberts joining in with the more liberal side of the Supreme Court, but he wrote the opinion and went back to the original ruling about that you can't discriminate someone on the basis of sex, which was a really shitty movie about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. My mind's being stupid right now, but it just basically solidified the fact that sexual orientation, LGBT and transgender, is a form of sex. And the thing people are kind of forgetting about this is that this is not just going to apply to, work and, your place of employment, but it essentially does add people in the queer community to that protected class of, okay, now you can't discriminate against someone for being gay, for housing, for this, for that. So it's a much bigger sweeping, basically ruling than I think a lot of people are thinking about.
Yeah, I remember you were texting me about that earlier this morning, Adam, and you mentioned that with the language that it has, with that recent Trump administration rule that they had against trans folks in terms of health and healthcare providing. I mean, that now might be called into question with this new Supreme Court ruling. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
to see.
and I'm not a legal scholar. I did read the whole 100 and whatever page brief because I had nothing to do today. And again, it may come into consideration as far as how far that goes. But generally speaking, if you set someone up as that protected class, it does set it up for the issue with trans military people and everything else that could greatly affect that. So.
Oh my God. And it's amazing that it happened at this point, just because I remember last week, like just recently, Trump had done something. I can't remember what the actual article was. I'm sure you guys can tell me.
He woke up.
He got out of the bunker just to be the most racist, transphobic person you could find, holding a Bible.
Yes, upside down.
That he's not read before. But no, because of that, and also because this month is Pride Month, we've been wanting to do an episode just covering all of the best LGBTQ films that are out there right now, ones that have come before and ones that are moving on into the future. So I haven't told any of you guys this, that I want to do a quick dance party because it's amazing, and I set up a stupid thing for it. So it's gonna start right now. Oh my gosh! Yeah! We're cutting to people! Other people! I have no idea why we're doing this. Big AFSO!
Oh my God, this is why I don't dance.
Yeah.
Patrick, I love how you got your lights to change with that.
Everybody sees immediately how tiny this room is, but also how tiny I am at the same time.
Let's see, it fits perfectly. Although it's funny because when you were first doing something, I didn't realize the little staircase thing. So you're like, it's so small. I'm like, well, it's not. Oh, I see.
And this room is already so hot that I've just made everything so much worse.
Well, I mean, look who's sitting there.
All right. Well, I guess that's kind of where we wanted to start off with this, and later on we're going to get into the Cost as Boss, which is so fun. I'm really excited to be doing this with you guys. But first, I guess I wanted to start off with you, Adam. What are some LGBTQ films that you love, that inspire you, and maybe some that you could recommend?
There's a lot of them, and that was one of the fun things we did with Cinema Queens. Was we really took LGBT cinema across the decades. It wasn't just, hey, these are modern storytelling. It went from everything from classics like Hairspray and some of the campy stuff like we didn't do Eating Out. No, we did what was one of the campy ones we did? Oh, like Another Gay Movie, which don't go see, it's horrible.
What are you talking about? That was totally the height of cinema right there.
Yeah, or some like after the sexual revolution, where we had gay people actually coming out right past Stonewall, like John Waters with Pink Flamingos, which is a fully disgusting movie I love dearly, or like Rocky Horror Picture Show. And it was really with queer cinema, just really kind of depends what you're looking for. I mean, some of the recent ones that have really resonated, like Love, Simon. It's about these teenagers who dealing with coming out, and there's a lot of coming out stories through a lot of queer movies. That one just did a great job as far as someone being outed and how that's kind of handled. The one movie that we both really like, but one that's really, really hard for me to watch is Boy Erased, which is based on the memoirs of a guy who actually went through anti-gay therapy, which I've gone through. And so watching that is really, really hard because it brings back a lot of memories and things I don't want to think about. And so, yeah, that's a good one. If you want some of the best queer cinema, like a good drama, there's Weekend. It's about two guys who meet for a hookup and then spend a weekend together and how it changes their lives. It doesn't have the stereotypical, they lived happily ever after. They do, but in a different way than you would expect. And I think going back to the classics, like we talked about Rocky Horror Picture Show, that's kind of almost like required viewing. And even some films that have a queer bent that you don't really look for. So like X2, X-Men United, there's a great coming out scene about being a mutant. And then have you tried not being a mutant? So there's just so many great films out there. There's so many shitty films out there as well. So it just kind of depends what you're looking for. And I said, if you're looking for a comedy, don't look for Another Gay Movie.
Has everybody seen Love, Simon in this room?
Yeah, that was actually our second movie we reviewed.
So that's also coming out as a Hulu show as well. What have you guys seen the trailers for that? What are your thoughts on it?
I believe it's called Love, Victor, and it's about the other character, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Like I've just only seen the trailer for it, but I think it's gonna be interesting, and I think I would totally binge it once it comes out. I mean, Hulu's got good stuff, so why not?
Mhm. I think the way that I was introduced with LGBTQ characters, it was, I mean, with teenage films mainly, like growing up. So stuff like Mean Girls with the Friend, and like I think it's mostly coming from that part. But when I grew up and started going into like delving into the past stuff, there are films like I just watched Midnight Cowboy that I think is really, really good and not enough people talk about. There's obviously Brokeback Mountain, the winning Oscar. There's so many others. Chaz, what are some that you would recommend, or some that you've seen recently?
That I've seen recently. I haven't seen some recently. I know there are more that's come out that's been on my list, but they've been shown at the Broadway, and like those are like a hit or miss, like going to go see because of schedule conflicts. So I know Hulu's just released A Portrait of Lady on Fire, which I heard is really good. But some that I saw, like some of my first ones I've seen were I Love You. Was it
Philip Morris? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one. The Birdcage is one that I kind of grew up with. I really liked Moonlight when that came out. I thought that was really powerful, but I think there's a lot that I need to see still, just because a lot of these films that focus on the community is a lot more independent than mainstream blockbusters. Hopefully it kind of changes, but there are a lot I need to add to my list. So I'm all ears to see what I have to see.
What are some of the ones that broke out like more than the others? Like Hairspray, of course, was a lot more mainstream, obviously, than Moonlight. Like there's.
Well, you already mentioned like the Birdcage. That was a huge one.
Brokeback Mountain was a huge one.
Yeah, Tu Wong Fu. That was a big one. Moonlight was kind of more like, it became like the art house darling of that year. But if you want to look at, sometimes some, very, very popular things that has queer representation that you may not always expect. If you look at like The Legend of Korra, which is the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender, I mean, the series ends with her either being lesbian or bisexual. It's kind of up in the air what she was.
Go into that more. I've not heard much about Legend of Korra. I've seen the Airbender series, but not.
So I came into the game of this late. So I only just finished Avatar: Last Airbender about a month and a half ago, and we're still about halfway through Korra. But basically, for those who don't know, the story is there's the four kingdoms: Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water. They were always at peace until the Fire Nation decided to be bastards and take over. And once per generation, whatever it is, there's a person born who is the Avatar who can master all four elements. Because if you're a waterbender, you can't be an airbender, and vice versa. So his thing is to take over, get all the powers, train him. The whole thing is his being trained and then fighting the Fire Nation. So Korra is the Avatar after he dies. So Aang's the airbender in the main series, and then she takes over. It's a little bit different in the sense that there isn't so much that I've seen really a big overarching story. Every season has its own story, but then every season is a little bit different, and it builds on what came before. So I'm about halfway through, but the reveal that she was either lesbian or bi it came out when the series finale, but it was just kind of cool to see representation like that on a Nickelodeon show that, essentially is made for kids, but people of all ages can enjoy. And I remember, Chris, I don't know if you saw it or knew about it, but I don't remember there being too much huge fanfare about people being pissed, which you would expect from,
Well, I mean, the fan base that was around the Avatar: The Last Airbender, as well as like Legend of Korra, I mean, it was, because I remember growing up around that time when Legend of Korra came out, and you would go onto like Tumblr and you would see post after post of people like writing fan fictions or creating fan art, putting Korra with, I think her name is Suzuki, or
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, one of the other female characters in that show. And I remember that a lot of people kind of felt like they were pressured to do that, but the writers came out after the show had aired with their finale, and they said, no, we had planned long ago that she was going to be queer. And I thought it was fantastic. I mean, you'll see it when you get to the end, because it's not like overt. Like, they're not like, they are lesbians, you know what I mean, type of thing. It's very subtle because it's Nickelodeon, it's a kid's show, and you have to understand the market that they're in. But it was one of those moments that I thought was really amazing and was able to move that genre forward. And coming from a show that because I grew up with the Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it is still to this day one of my favorite shows of all time. And the fact that those same creators were able to acknowledge and move this issue forward, I think, that was amazing. It was fantastic.
Speaking of Nickelodeon, we'll have to get into the other bigger story later that might even be bigger than the Supreme Court decision regarding SpongeBob.
I know what you're talking about, and I know where you're going with that.
I'm excited, but I didn't give Chris his time first to recommend his movies and what films that inspire him that he loves. So what are some that you like as well?
Oh yeah, no, you're good, man. I would say, we talked about a few of those. We talked about Moonlight, Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble. That was another John Waters film that I really like. I thought I know you don't like it, Adam, but
I didn't dislike it. It's worse than Pink Flamingos.
Oh, it's so much worse than Pink. But the message it is so beautiful and important.
No, Polyester was the one that I hated.
Oh,
how many
remember
films
that one
has
made
John
me
Waters
angry?
done?
Huh?
How many films has John Waters done?
Oh God, he's done like 10 or 12. I want to say.
Wow.
He's done a few.
Because the last one he did was Dirty Shame.
He's done at least 29.
29?
Oh, really?
Holy shit.
I will say, though, that my favorite movie that we ever reviewed on that podcast was actually Pride. And it was this British film, and it talked about how, and I think it was like around the 1980s or 70s. And it was kind of when the LGBT community was trying to, build up at that point and trying to get themselves to the forefront and, make a name for themselves. And they ended up going to this small town, and they formed this group called the Lesbians and Gays Support the Miners, because there was like this mining town, and they were like dealing with all these types of like worker issues and stuff like that. And it was so awesome to see that, because you saw that solidarity that the queer community was able to provide to the working class during that time. And they even relates to today when we see the queer community lining up with Black Lives Matter to try and show solidarity and support in those issues. And that, I thought it was a fantastic film that illustrated that.
There was another film that I saw this year at Sundance, actually. So I honestly have no idea when it's coming, but Uncle Frank was incredible with Paul Bettany, where he plays a gay character that kind of was just in the closet for his entire life until he broke out of his area. Forgetting this guy's name, I don't want to say Stephen Merchant, because I don't think that's it, but he was in Dodgeball. He was Stapler from Office Space. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
He played Stephen Root. There we go.
Yeah, Stephen Root. I just pulled it up.
Yep. Fuck me. And I even had an interview with him. I'm done. It was at Sundance, and I did the goddamn interview.
I love that sound effect. Can I just point that out? That's like my favorite thing. I want to have that.
There's so many. There's so many, man. Like what do we have? They will come out when we get to the next story. But I want to recommend, if it does come out this year, or if based on the other bit of news about the Oscars pushing back a little bit, it comes out later on in 2021. But thank you so much for giving me recommendations. You guys have so much stuff to go and watch now. So many movies that you can put a list together. Go check them out. And let's move on to the next story, which SpongeBob SquarePants gay?
Gay!
I have no idea. I think this was way blown out of proportion. However, it's so worth it to spend so much time discussing. So let's break it down. SpongeBob SquarePants, Nickelodeon reinforced a theory, which I'm sure that's kind of Adam's input with this, that he is a gay character, when the creator himself has kind of said that he's an asexual character. Adam, I want to give it to you first. Tell me what you think about this news.
So what happened was, Nickelodeon just tweeted out celebrating Pride with LGBTQ community and their allies this month and every month. And I had a picture of SpongeBob, Korra, and I'm not sure about the guy they posted who's in one of their shows. It's one of the live action shows. And I believe the gentleman in the picture is a trans man. He transitioned, I think, about 20 years ago. So the big thing everyone was going crazy about was because SpongeBob was, rainbow colored SpongeBob, was that SpongeBob was indeed gay. And that's what they were alluding to, even though it wasn't specifically said. Then people started hopping on the fact that, back when someone asked about that back in the early 2000s, because he comes across as a very gay character. They asked the creators about that, and they said, well, no, he's asexual. So now people are saying, well, if SpongeBob is asexual, that's ace removal, and if he is gay, were they really saying that, or just saying like, hey, he could be an ally or whatever else? My thing, and honestly, I'm not sure which side to go on with this, because I can guarantee that when they asked him back in the the early 2000s, if SpongeBob was gay, by saying asexual went two ways. One, he's a sponge, and that's sponges I believe are asexual.
Many holes.
Yeah,
a sponge.
That's good for me. And then I'm sure back then it was this is way before marriage rights were allowed, where gay people were still kind of they weren't the norm, or even outside the fringe of society. So that could have just been a very easy cop out to keep from having to address that issue. So either which way, as far as I'm concerned, SpongeBob's part of the community, whether he's ace or gay. That's why I view it as. So
what it comes down to is intention, I think. Like, is this coming from a business marketing decision only, or are we going to see like more leanings toward him being a gay character in future content that is produced with SpongeBob? What do you think with that, Chris? Is it more business, or do we see more representation coming later on?
So I'm the cynic. So my money's on it's about a corporate trying to extend a hand for Pride Month, because this happens like pretty much every single year, where Pride Month comes along and all these corporations come out and they're just like, oh, hey, we support this, and that's kind of way of Nickelodeon's way of doing that, which I don't want to say is like a bad thing. I think I'm very much neutral on it, but I think
but there is something to say with the company being like, we don't really cover anything, and we're probably discriminatory, but when it comes to Pride Month, it's my birthday!
Yeah! We'll see. And the problem now is those companies are doubly screwed, because now in June they have to pretend to care about gay people and black people. So,
oof, that's fired.
Yeah, that's like the gif of Larry David kind of looking like side to side.
Or John Travolta.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah.
I love that video.
I'm so glad. Okay, so a lot of these you probably... can you guess the video from any of these sound effects?
Can't you see that, you son of a bitch?
It's from recent Karen videos. There's a trending subreddit on... Well, there's trending on Twitter a lot of Karen videos, basically, right? Mm-hmm. And I've already known this video for a very long time. But this is a Karen that's at a Walmart. Just came up to somebody at a checkout aisle and just saying, "You need Jesus, you're going to burn in hell." But her sound bites are incredible.
Accuser of the fucking brethren, you motherfucker! You motherfucking accuser! Fuck you, I'm trying to help you, motherfucker!
Like, they work for so many different occasions, and we've used them sparingly, of course. We don't like...
I'm so glad she's showing the love of Christ, as was intended. So.
You need Jesus! I know, it's crazy.
Dude, I love her motherfucker. It's the best motherfucker I've heard on the internet for a while. Before it was the guy from Dexter. He's like, "Surprise, motherfucker," right? But he kind of got outdid by this Walmart lady.
But Chaz, what do you think when it comes to like SpongeBob is in his next film, right? He's walking into it. It was Pineapple, and there's Patrick, completely just naked, head to toe.
And he'd probably be in those stripper boots he was in at the end of the first movie.
Yes, exactly. Or like he just goes full like wrestler mode. He's like, "I got this for you, baby," and he's looking at his holes, and he's just thinking to himself,
Fuck this shit!
Maybe not the last bit. The falling part will work.
See, I think SpongeBob's a power top.
I was gonna say, like, we have to determine whether or not SpongeBob's a bottom or a top, and I see him more as a top. Mm-hmm. Patrick as the bottom.
A power bottom.
Well, you can't take his stomach out, and it makes it a good place to fuck. So.
So the asexual bit, we have seen SpongeBob naked. He doesn't have any atomic, like he doesn't have any parts, right? Correct?
He has butt cheeks.
We're going to go deep with this. Chris, I know you looked weird with that. We're gonna go real deep with this.
And then it got weird.
It's weird because I grew up with him. Like, you know, it's like seeing your teacher, you know, and thinking about that type of shit, you know? I mean, it's like, we have to get down to this. I'm not neglecting the issue. We have to get down
who
to
didn't think that he was just at least like what Adam was saying, like somebody that was supportive, right? Nobody looked at SpongeBob and thought he was 100% straight, is all I'm getting at. Like,
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, his character is very flamboyant,
poor
and
Sandy,
very
though.
extroverted and over the top, and you know, and that, and as far as with some gay people, that's how they are. Some aren't, but yeah, you looking at that, you were always kind of like, this dude gay,
Mhm.
and
somewhere on the spectrum.
Meanwhile,
spectrum,
Sandy
yeah.
is sitting there just like,
this bitch.
Jesus.
her whole life has crumbled before her.
You got to play the
What
sad
other
walking
characters
away
are they
music
going to
from
just
Hulk.
make? What other characters do you think they'll go with for the next coming years? That's a good question.
Well, I think one thing we need to
the
address.
Fairly Odd Parents totally need. Yes, they're not together for love.
No,
Well,
it's totally a practical marriage.
It is.
There's
Yeah.
no love in it.
There's no love in them. Cosmo and Wanda do their own thing.
Well, one thing I think we should bring up as we're talking about, you know, with the ruling from today and about characters being gay is everything going on with J.K. Rowling right now.
Yeah.
Because
Oh shit, we're going there. Hold on.
Yeah, so-
let's start because this is perfect to use this. We can do so many segments today. This is Movie Court. The topic today: J.K. Rowling and her stupid mouth. Has it gotten her in too much trouble this time? We love her writing,
Yeah.
but maybe not her screenwriting. But
Well, I mean, one of the big problems we have with her is that, you know, has she been an ally of the lesbian, gay, and bisexual community? Yes. And, you know, some of the things that have annoyed me kind of started with back in when they were making the 6th movie, they were going to have a subplot with a flashback of Dumbledore with like a woman who's dating. She's like, well, no, he's gay. And it's kind of like, that's cool that you've included a gay character in this series that has shaped people's lives. And like, you know, people have grown up on this and, you know, become huge fans and it had to influence their life so much. But it's kind of a cop out at the same time to, okay, you've made your money, you've written your books, your movie deals are inked. So there is no chance of fallout for this. You're already a billionaire. So what happens if 10,000 people don't buy your book or watch your movie? It's not going to make a difference. So that to me always kind of felt like pandering. But then what's going on right now where she's, you know, basically being a TERF, which is a trans exclusionary radical feminist who is going off about, and she said things in the past, but this time she just keeps on doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. And, you know, even everyone who's worked with her in the movies has come out and said, no, you're full of shit, and nicer words than that. But I don't know. It's disappointing to say the least, but on the same side, we have people saying that, oh, well, because of this, you know, J.K. Rowling doesn't exist really as the author of Harry Potter. And there was a cool little essay I read about how that's a dangerous thing to do as well. It's just because, you know, you have something of cultural significance, you can't dismiss the fact of who wrote it, even if they're saying bad things. And yes, you do need to call them out on that. And hopefully one day they'll be educated enough to kind of change sides. But you can call someone out on something they're doing that's horrible and incorrect, but that doesn't mean you have to say that their work doesn't exist without them.
yeah, well, let's give it like a grading scale on this. So, Chaz, if it were to be like from a James Gunn situation on Twitter to Roseanne, what spectrum are we at? Where
more close to Roseanne, because
to where this is something where it's not super forgivable.
I think
sense.
it's forgivable if she comes like what Adam was saying is if she comes to learn and kind of acknowledge her own flaws like James Gunn did. You know, like he said, yeah, that was years ago and I thought it was funny, but like I was fucked up. You know,
It's too soon for her to even jump into that bandwagon yet, because it would clearly just be because she's lost a lot of stuff. Will it prevent you from watching anything new? Because like right now, there's a lot of things to prevent you from seeing the new Fantastic Beasts films. Besides this, but
honestly, the only things I've read from her or seen from her is the Harry Potter books and movies. I'm not her biggest fan where I'm going to go buy her next book or go see the next movie. Like I think for me, her biggest thing was Harry Potter, and like I think those are great young adult fiction novels, you know. But there's also a lot of people who kind of make that their favorite book of all time, and they're still like in their 50s. So
Yeah, well, hey, I've still got the collection, and I don't think this is a case where I'm going to be throwing them out, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, she's
Right,
already
and
got the
still,
money for him,
it's-
so
yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of the same thing as like burning your jersey if you're upset about a player. It's like yeah, that was so expensive. What did you do?
Well, and like it wouldn't be bad. It's like it's the fact that she doubled down on it with an essay, trying to
Yeah.
defend her stance on Twitter, and then
Did you read?
I didn't read it, no, but making other co-stars like Daniel Radcliffe, who I did read. I read his little thing, and his is like a lot more like well put and like well worded than hers ever will be, which is weird because he's not an author and she is. Like you think she would have a better way with words explaining herself, but it seems like she's digging herself in a deeper hole.
Yeah. Where do you think we're at with this, Chris? Is J.K. Rowling going to be coming out of this anytime soon? Is this a Louis C.K. situation where she's going to drop off and every once in a while she's like underground writing in some comedy club and you're like, oh shit, she's there? Who didn't warn us about this?
No, the thing though is I feel like this has kind of been a long time coming, because I mean, this isn't the first time that criticism has been brought up about her. And I mean, like, she's constantly going on Twitter tweeting about stuff, not just about like things that really she shouldn't just be poking her head in. Like, why is she even talking about this? Like,
Fuck
know
you!
what I mean?
I'm trying to help you, motherfucker!
That's J.K. Rowling in every single tweet that she does. It's just like,
Can't you see that, you son of a bitch?
Oh my gosh. No, so I mean, I would really like to see J.K. Rowling, like, you know, become a better person from this, and, you know, be able to, like, you know, educate herself and come out and say, like, look, I made some mistakes, I understand now. I would love to see that. But I know, just like from what I've seen online myself, I think a lot of people are just kind of fed up, and this was the, you know, the last straw.
Poorly timed.
yeah, and
Not the right month to be doing this. Not
not the right time. Yeah.
Everything was like, ugh.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
That's Harry Potter.
Pretty much, yeah. And I think the one thing we have to keep in mind too is that, you know, if she does, you know, eventually be like, hey, you know what, I was wrong, I'm sorry. You know, it's got to be within a certain amount of time to where it's like, I'm not just saying this because I'm going to start losing money, or like people are not going to get my books, whatever you want to say. And then, you know, it's also about making amends. You know, you hear about these people who, like the guy who ran Exodus International, which was an international ex-gay therapy thing, and eventually came out and said, you know, I'm still gay. I always was gay. I was suppressing it. Cool. That's great. You're being honest, but what are you doing to make amends for what you said and did? Like you've ruined lives. So like, how you have this mountain you have to climb now to show this. So she's going to have to do that with the trans community, especially trans women. And then as far as when do we say, yes, this is okay, she's made enough of a difference, is I'm not the person to ask for that. None of us here are. We're not trans. So we talk about with Black Lives Matter and taking the time to sit down and listen to what they have to say and their experiences and let them speak and actively listen. That's what it's going to take with her, is, you know, with these trans, you know, people in our community who are trans, they're going to be the deciding factor as far as, has she done the right thing and has she made amends to the point where they feel like that she's an ally again.
Absolutely. What the hell, you know, like what were you doing?
She must have been high.
Yeah, something there. Yep, something with that. Quarantine just got to her. We'll hope and hope that she comes to her senses, because I do want her to, like, she was for the most part an ally in a lot of ways, but holy shit, you stepped in shit with this.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of shit, not shit, depending on how they value themselves it's time for a game show, okay? We're doing The Cost is Boss. I love that so much. So today is going to be the LGBTQ edition, where we have polled a number of people from Cameo. Have you guys heard of Cameo? This is the website that allows you, it's also an app, where you can find a celebrity that's on there wanting to wish you a happy birthday, wanting to give like a message to a friend of yours. You can do it as like a virtual autograph, even a text message if you want. There are so many celebrities right now that are on there, because not only are they not working at the moment and need that support, but it's also a good thing to help out people that might be feeling down. that depending on how these celebrities have valued themselves can show how more charitable they could be or how much they value their time. So I thought, how great would it be to guess the prices of these cameos that are on the site? Now, I've got a list of people here, and I totally got the numbering wrong, so this is going to be a little fun. And I've sent it to you guys. Do you have any questions before we begin with this?
What do you mean you got the numbering wrong?
Because I put the names because I'm a weirdo, but we've got cool bossa nova music to overlay the crappiness.
There we go.
It's not too quiet, right? And it's not overbearing.
What? I can't hear you. The music is too overbearing.
Oh no.
Fuck you! I'm trying to help you, motherfucker!
I want that as my ringtone, but I would get fired.
Oh, right. I feel bad because Emily just chimed in that her kids can hear. I'm sorry, you might need to find headphones for this episode. But so many people have been in the chat room, and yeah, just wanted to say hi to everybody before we jump into this. The first person up for Celebrity Cameo, let me go to my sound effects, is Perez Hilton. And these are all, they don't have to be members of the LGBTQ community, but allies. It can be anyone that has been a part of that community and have helped in some way. So Perez Hilton, there's a lot of guesses that you can have with some of these, particularly when it comes down to like their ratings. Sometimes, I don't have this on some of these, but some of them also have like hashtags on what they do specifically for the cameos, which will tell you how much they're valuing at. We've had some $0, we've had some be 300. So it depends on how you value them at. And we're gonna start with Chris. What is your guess for Perez Hilton?
Okay, so this is just like a standard video. Okay. I'm gonna guess like around $75.
75, okay. And Chaz, what is your guess?
I'll go 50.
50. Adam, and what is your guess?
So is this a guess of what I would pay or what I think others are paying?
This is what you think Perez Hilton has valued him at for a video. So
okay.
You can request a video for how much dollars based on what he...
I think he's full of himself, so I'm gonna say $500.
Yes, nice. Okay, so... Oh shit, I forgot. You guys are gonna get the answers unless I throw it in. So it's gonna be thrown into the Zoom chat, so you have to open it from there, okay? Everyone jump in there real quick. For Perez Hilton. Get in there, damn it. This is going great. Hold on.
Sure don't want to say it.
$90 for Perez Hilton.
A lot less than I thought it was going to be.
Does that mean I win?
Yes, you win that round. You get a point. Woo! Next person we have, you might know him. Well, frankly, I'm gonna need to have an explanation of this person. What is an Andy Dick?
We don't speak of her.
Okay. Tell me more, please.
He's just a hack actor who thinks he's funny and isn't.
I've seen his acting.
Shitty movies.
So is he gay? What is? I don't know. I've only heard just crazy party stories. No, nobody knows.
I'm looking here. All I know is he was drunk in a bar and like he's gone and like groped women and done horrible things. Allegedly groped women. I wasn't there for it.
Well, that's not good for this music.
He's got
All
kids.
right, moving into the next.
And he said specifically that he is bisexual. So I guess he's kind of in there somewhere.
Oh, okay. So Andy Dick. Let's start with Chaz. What do you think his cost is for this?
Seeing how he's a huge scumbag, I'd say maybe $250.
All right, $250. And Adam, what is your guess?
I'll say $300.
And Chris?
He's got them bills to pay with all those addictions, so I'm gonna guess like around $200.
All right, Adam, what was yours again? Shit.
$300.
All right, the winner is $99.
Oh.
How much?
$99. He's got $99 and other issues as well.
So Chris wins that round too.
Yes, Chris, you
Yeah.
win that round too.
So I guess he's just going for the quantity over quality kind of thing. I get it.
Mhm.
This is Price is Right rules, right? Or no, it's just closest. No, yeah, it's just closest.
Just whoever's closest, yep.
Yeah, because Price is Right, we'd all have lost.
Very nice. Next round is Lance Bass. You know him from NSYNC.
Well, he was trying to go to space, so I think he might be a bit more expensive.
Oh, I didn't know that. When did this happen?
Yeah, it was it the late aughts or the early 2010s? He was trained to be an astronaut and then did a lot of the training and then just didn't get there. So maybe with SpaceX now he can make it to space.
Jesus. All right. Yeah, Lance is going to space. Chris, what do you think his cost is though for a friendly video to someone?
Okay. Since he's in sync, I would imagine he has to sing. So I'm gonna go with 150.
All right. And Chaz, what is your guess?
I'll go 225.
If you guys have a window open, I swear to God, we've not had a cheater yet, but this is episode 2. So like I've been waiting for it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I've been waiting for it. What is your guess, Adam?
Well, I was going to say 150, but then Chris stole that, so I'm going to go with 125.
All right. And for Lance Bass, his cost is $249.
Ooh!
So what does that put you at, Chris? Have you got 3 points?
I think I have 2.
2. And then Adam has 1?
I've got none.
Chaz has 1. Yes, Chaz is on the board.
I'm on the board.
Woohoo!
I lost last game, so
Yeah, last game was a little we're getting redemption. We won't even talk about that last game. It's fine. New round is, you know him from Scrubs, Robert Macchio, known as the Todd, who I believe in the story comes out as gay. I could be wrong. No, yes.
I haven't watched Scrubs in a very, very long time.
I feel like that's true. Like it's been a while since I've seen it, but that sounds about right.
Very cool. So with Robert Macchio, I found out that I'm friends with him on Facebook. Why didn't I just have him come on the show? Oh yeah, I would have had to pay for the cameo. He's like, so you want to do a show about a cameo, but you won't pay for me to be on the show. And I'm like, no, just kidding. But for the Todd, what is your guess for the price? Let's start with Chaz.
175.
All right, and Adam?
I'm going to go 150 this time around.
And Chris?
I feel like, okay, I might feel low, but I'm going to go with 75.
And your winner, Chris, with $95 for Robert.
Shit, you're good at this.
Dang, we always get to the point where there's just like we've still got a few, and if you guys want to go through the rest, we can do so if this has been fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, you won the game. Woohoo!
woo!
Point for him, but we can keep going.
Let's do Elvira for sure.
All right, for sure. Let's see. Yeah, we've just got. These are all pretty good. All right, so the next person up is Daniel Francesi. He was, like I was mentioning in Mean Girls, the side character alongside of, I can't remember what the girl actress's name is. It's like the friend with Lindsay Lohan, like the real friend.
Yeah, I'll find it 1 second.
I'm a great host. You know, it's the one with the one person and the one thing in the...
It was Janice.
Janice. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Nice. So for Daniel, who did we start with last? Was it Chaz? Okay, so with that, Adam, what is your guess for Daniel?
I don't think people even know who he is anymore, so I'm going to say like 75.
All right, let's go to Chris.
So, okay, I hear from rumors that he's great on camera, but he's kind of a dick in person. So I'm actually going to go with around 150.
Interesting. So the more dickish you are, the higher the cost.
I don't know, because Perez Hilton's kind of a dick, and he was low, so.
Fair.
He's like, I know who I am. What about you, Chaz? What is your guess?
I'll go 151.
Right. And the answer is $75. Adam, you get a point.
I finally won something.
Very cool. All right, you're on the board. Now, let's see. This is heating up quick. This next person you may know from Tiger King recently. It's the trainer that got her arm ripped off. She's amazing. We're in no way diminishing that. Although she was very flippant about it, wasn't she? Like,
Well, see,
yeah,
I've only-
it's like matter of fact.
I saw like a quarter of an episode and just got up and left the room, so.
Not a fan, huh?
No, but all the sad thing is that show has been the most normal thing about 2020. So
I know, right?
And it came out right as shit hit the fan.
Speaking of LGBTQ characters, Joe Exotic, holy shit. That is the human garbage that is.
yeah, all I picked up from the show is that everyone in it are just horrible people who deserve to be punched in the gonads. So.
Well, Kelsey Saffery would at least like to send you a greeting, if you wouldn't mind, but for a price. So, Chris, what do you think that price is for Kelsey?
I'm going to go with $35.
All right, and Chaz, what'd you guess?
I'll go 150.
And Adam?
I'm gonna just go with 75 again.
All right. For Kelsey Saffery, she would love to do a video for you for the lovely cost of $100.
I think that was
What?
medium, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yay, 2 points.
Adam, yep.
I'm finally doing something on
2
this game.
points. Awesome.
I'm
Shouldn't
back in
stop
last
so
place.
early. I shouldn't stop so early. This is getting great. Let's see. All right. Next person is, we already teased her, Elvira. Now, I was very interested with how much Elvira would cost for this. And I'll be honest, it shocked me. Whether it's because she was the most expensive, least expensive, that's up to you guys.
I mean, she's the
Chaz.
mistress of the night, so.
Chaz, how much would the Mistress of the Night cost to send you a lovely video?
I'll go 700.
Holy shit. Yeah. Now let's go, Adam.
I was gonna go high, but not quite that high. So I'm gonna go 300.
And Chris.
Let's split it down the middle, 500.
All right. So we're gonna start by saying Chaz is dead wrong. I have no idea. That was like, and it's funny because last episode I was like, the only highest number I've seen is 500. So you totally knew that I've not found a highest one yet. But I liked that guess because she's worth every damn penny. However, for Elvira, you could request a video from her for the low and Walmart-ish price, which is very ironic in this case, of $2.99.
Oh, yay!
Oh,
So now it is a tie. We have a tie.
So do you
And
know
there's
who-
one left.
Do you know who's the
Holy
most
shit.
expensive person on there?
The most expensive person that I saw, I believe, was $500, and I believe it was Chris Harrison.
So it's actually, the new thing is Jeremy Piven,
Ooh.
who's like an Entourage. He was the douchebag, like, agent. He is asking for 15,000.
15,000?
Yeah, and Twitter's
Not
had a lot of fun with
1,500.
that. No, 15,000. So
Jesus.
Twitter's had a lot of fun with that one.
Jesus.
All right, so now we're going to go into our... I cannot believe that we got to this point where it's sudden death. And now we're putting on our sudden death music. I didn't know we even had to do this shit. The last contestant on The Cost is Boss is Sean T, who I have to credit for the weight that I've lost in my life because I always do the Insanity program. And yeah, work from home, just hating people in general. Maybe this is too loud. But either way, what is the cost? Let's start with, who'd we start with before? Chris? All right,
Yeah.
Chaz, what is your guess?
Oh, fuck. I'll go 350.
350. All right, Adam?
Let's say 65.
This music's making so intense. Chris, my friend, thank you, all of you, for being on this show and doing this with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys come back. To end this, Chris, what is your number?
I'm gonna go with 125.
The answer. 112.
Hey, Chris wins!
Chris, you win.
Yeah!
Great job, Chris. That was a freaking nail biter. And I didn't expect it to be, which is awesome. That was so cool. Thank you guys for joining. I hope everybody had a good time watching. Real quick, thank you guys who have joined in. Emily, Madison, Embry, Latu. Hope you guys are doing well. And let's go ahead and plug everybody's stuff, though, because I know you guys have projects going on because you all work so hard. Let's start with Adam. What are you working on? Where can the people find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at Sithbot_. It's SITHBOT, or Facebook.com/Ender2155, which is just my doing a bunch of shit posting. I'm also the film review editor for Big Shiny Robot, which right now is kind of null and void because there's no movies coming out, so we haven't had a chance to go and look at much lately. And then my other podcast, Funny Books and Firewater, we are in the process of relaunching, kind of redoing it because our host does all the editing for the sound, and the way we had it set up was taking him like 6 hours to do one episode, so it wasn't working out. We're looking to relaunch in October with we're doing horror comics. November, we're doing comics about Native Americans or written by Native Americans. And then December, we're going to do comics about either snow or cold or winter. And we may possibly be rebranding under a different name. We're trying to work through that and see what we think. But we got a new logo going, and that's kind of what we're looking to work through. So check us out, Funny Books and Firewater, for right now at least, starting the first Monday in October.
We will definitely be promoting that once it comes back up. Be sure to check out all the other plugs he's got. Also, thank you so much, Chris, for joining. This is for both of you guys. I didn't put it up while you're talking because I didn't want to be a dick. But Chris, where can the people find you? What are you working on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of hanging out. I don't really have anything that I'm working on right now. If you want to follow me at Twitter, I'm at Master24747. On Instagram, I'm 24747stout. So, hey, hit me up anywhere of those places. I'd love the follow.
Awesome. And Chaz, what are you working on, my friend? And how's the script writing been going? All that stuff.
Oh, it's been going.
I don't know why it required the air horn. I tried to hit the applause button, but my finger was too soft.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
I said it so somber, and I don't think I deserve a little applause.
You deserve everything.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at your boy Chazzy. It's on the screen. It's on the screen right there.
Oh, there you go.
People have asked how they spell it, and that's how you spell it. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I also have a podcast coming out this Friday for Over and Under Artists Exposed, and you can go ahead and listen to Patrick's episode that aired last week.
Yeah. Listen to it, but just ignore what I say or anything.
Just talk shit on him. Yeah.
Make sure to @ me. No, thank you guys again for watching. Please make sure to check out our merch store, www.patrickbeattyreviews.com. We're on iTunes. We're on the yada yada, all that shit. Thank you again so much, as always, for watching, and we will see you at the next review.
Oh, I thought of one thing, too.
Oh, shit,
yeah. If you, so Cinema Queens, we did kind of come to an end after about 63 episodes, but if you want to take a look at that, I'm getting things recertified by iTunes because they were being stupid. So you can check us out over on iTunes, Stitcher, or at cinemaqueens.podbean.com if you want to kind of catch up on us and definitely see the evolution we had from episode 1 till when we kind of wrapped things. So I think we got a bit better, hopefully.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you again, as always, for watching, and we will see you.
Keep the change, you filthy